Morning. Or should I say morning. Today we are off to Nottingham to collect a car from BCA. I'm on my way to the bus stop to get a bus to the local station, and I've just learned that my train from St Pancras has been cancelled, so I've got to try and find another train to get me there. I'll keep you updated. Let's go on the pickup at Nottingham. Right, we are nearly there at last. It's a beautiful day, as you can see the blue sky behind me. Not a bad place to get to. Probably a 15-minute walk from the station, from Carlton station. Yeah, my train wasn't cancelled in the end. They reinstated it. So I had to wait around a long time at St Pancras because I tried to get an earlier one, but they wouldn't let me. So I'm probably 5 minutes away. So I will see you when I get there. Right, here it is. It all looks quite good actually. I haven't tried to start it yet. What have I done with the keys? Just put them in the car, I think. Yeah, this was where the damage was. This is where it's been repaired. New wing, which all matches nice. Wheels look good. I think these were the wheels that were on it when it was accident damaged, and they've been painted recently by the looks of it. Right, oh yes, I haven't got a door handle, have I? Forgot about that. Right, at least we can get in this way. Right, okay. Oh, here we are. All looks alright. Needs a new gear knob, but yeah, all looks good, fresh. See if it starts. Here we are. This is Project MILF. I know. It is a beauty. So this is the following day. I got home about 3:30 yesterday, so it was about 3 hours, plus my little stop off to have a cheeky McDonald's on the way home. Drives like a dream. There are two issues with it. So the first issue is the lack of a door handle. Now I don't think I've got, because obviously these are satin, so I don't think I've got a satin door handle. So what I've done is I've ordered from AliExpress, I've ordered some black ones that you basically stick on. I've used it before, they're actually really nice. I'm not going to buy one of these because they are mega expensive. So I'm going to put a chrome one on, and then when the covers come, I'll put the covers on. I think I used the fake carbon ones before. I know some people will find them tacky, but they actually looked quite nice. That's one issue. The other issue, let me show you around it first before I tell you about the other issue, because that's on the inside. So this is a beautiful, beautiful car, I have to say. It is a former Cat S. Now, I managed to get hold of pictures from when it was damaged I think it was in 2021. It was a Cat S, as I say, that wing, a repair to the bumper. I assume it hasn't had a new bumper, it's probably had a repair. to the bumper, and I think there was a tiny little bit on the door, nothing much on the door. That was it. Bonnet was okay. You can see it doesn't quite line up properly down here, doesn't quite line up, but it's good enough for me. Probably could improve on it. And again, the bonnet gap isn't 100%, but that's good enough for me. That's it. That was all the damage was. Oh, and suspension. The wheel was pushed back. It's had new suspension on it. As I say, 5 years ago that was done. So no big deal. It's a 14 plate, sport, of course, as you can see. Now, going by the pictures, I believe these are the same alloy wheels that were on it before, but they were silver. And they've been painted black, and they are in exceptional condition. Not a mark on that one. I think they've been done quite recently. Not a mark. And it's a good tyre. Little bit of cracking here, I guess. A little bit of cracking, so I might replace that one, because that'll come up as an advisory, without a doubt. And again, not a mark on it. Absolutely spotless. This tyre's good. I love this colour. Really, really nice colour. I had one in this colour before. Stands out, doesn't it? Got the chrome mirrors. I noticed there is a very, very, very tiny little, I think it's a crack in the windscreen, not a crack, you know, little chip somewhere. I can't actually see it now. When I focused on it, might be one of these dirty marks actually, but it looked like there was a tiny little imperfection, but I can't see it now. It was in my vision, but you have to sort of focus on it. When you're looking at the road, you can't see it, but no, I can't see it now. We'll have a look from the inside. But so bonnet, bumper, all good. Headlight, that headlight is a bit on the misty side, so I reckon that headlight was replaced with a shitty one. It was a bit tight of them not to get a decent one, or at least polish it up. So we'll either polish. When you look at that headlight and compare it to that headlight, chalk and cheese, aren't they? So I probably will. Well, I'm probably not going to replace it, but I'm going to. It's a bit, yeah, it's not very good. So I am going to polish that up. I don't really want to go taking the bumper off unless I can help it. Obviously, you have to do that to get the light out, or at least drop it down. I don't really want to do that if there's no need. This side, tiny little scuff there, which we will touch up with a bit of black gloss. This side, no damage whatsoever to the wing. We're in shadow here, so you probably can't see it very well. Until the camera compensates for that, which it has now. Yeah, not a mark on it. And I think we had a tiny little mark there, which again we'll touch up. So that tyre's okay, I think. That tyre's okay. Now the MOT is due in August, bearing in mind it's end of April now, so I will be getting it MOT'd, so tyres have got to be good. We got the nice sports lights. I say nice sports lights, the only difference is they're black around the edge instead of cream. Came from Stoneacre, it's still got the Stoneacre plates on it in Oldham. Haven't had a look underneath yet, obviously. It had advisories previously, at least a couple of times, about a leaky sump. Now that's gone away, so I can. Oh bloody! We've got one of those. I've got one to put on. So we have to assume. What the hell's going on there? There's grease there. What the hell's that there for? We'll clean that off. Same on the other side as well. What that's all about. So yeah, we've got one of those. We'll put that on. We don't have a spare wheel. We had a lot of road noise coming back, and I thought I've had a previous car where the sound deadening was taken out of one of the wheel arches, and I thought it was probably that. But now, when I got home, I looked and saw that there's no spare wheel, so I need to get one of those. For the time being, I'll probably take one out of another car, because I anticipate doing this car quite quickly, getting it done. Yeah, forgot we do need a rear shelf. Got the locking thing there. I think I saw locking wheel nut keys in the car as well. I think I got all the manuals indoors, so we've got some service history. We haven't got a service book as such. We've got like a, what do you call it, a good garage scheme book with a couple of stamps in, and there's another thing with a couple of stamps in, so I'll incorporate them all together. I think it was serviced, going by that, in July 2025, so it's not really due for a service, but I probably will give it one anyway. Let me show you inside. I'll show you what the other fault is, and I'll show you the mileage, etc. We've got a digital dash which just switched itself off. As you see, digital dash, Blue Me. Obviously I will be taking the stereo out and putting another stereo in. 66,299 miles. I think it's done a lot less than 10,000 miles since the last service. So the thing that doesn't work is the stereo. As you can see, no power. Oh! I can't believe that. I did that yesterday and it didn't come on. Maybe it did. I had my phone there. Maybe my phone was covering that up and it's set to aux. Okay, so it does work. Yeah, and the volume's down as well. Hang on. Halam. Radio 1. It's probably set to Northern Radio 1 frequency. Let's try setting it to capital. Let's take this thing off. I use this for me phone for sat nav coming home. It's not stopping. Didn't notice whether there was an aerial on it or not. It's not stopping at stations. If you do it manually, it'll probably work. But let me just go back. See if we can stop at 95 point. Great. 95.8. Very poor signal. Very poor signal. That was one other thing as well. Gear knobs all worn, so we'll put a new one of those in as well. Or should we just cover it up with that? There you go, done. That was a BCA sticker. Yeah, so this came from, well, as you saw my little journey, BCA in Nottingham. What else we got? Nothing. Oops, nothing much. Don't think to tell you about. Excuse me. Locking wheel nut key. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that was another fault actually. Aircon. The aircon is not very cold. It works, but it's not very cold. So we'll have to top the gas up for that. It was coming out cool, but it wasn't coming out cold, and there was a difference between having it off and having it on. So it is working, it's just not very cold, so it should just need a top up, which obviously I can do now. That's it on the inside. Obviously we have the blue trimmed seats, the half leather, and in the back, if I can get the seat up, in the back, it's all clean in the back. Yep, all good I think. There's not much. The thing with BCA cars is you never get any free gifts like you do in co-park cars, but of course you can come and get it yourself. That's not a free gift, that McDonald's cup. That was my drink when I stopped on the way home. So it took me 3 hours coming home, which isn't too bad. Got that up there as well, that stuff, whatever that is. It's like grease of some sort. Yeah, it is. It's white grease. Maybe it had a creak, so they've just sprayed it there. Made a right old mess of that, haven't they? Arch wiring, hatch wiring looks okay. Whether it's been done or not, who knows? But I'm not getting any errors or anything like that. So yeah, satin handle this side, so I'll be taking that one off and putting a chrome one on, and then as I say, we'll put those covers on. I know some of you are going to disagree about me doing that, but that's what I'm going to do. Obviously that's a shame you can't repair those, isn't it? Shame you can't put a new bit of that on. Frustrating that. So that is now only fit for the bin. Annoying. Shall we pop the bonnet and I'll show you under there? So we are on a replacement Halfords battery. It's even got a new nut on it. So that, don't know when that was done, but that looks quite new, doesn't it? Bit gungy down there, so we'll give that a good clean. Now, what we will do, of course, is we'll get the battery tray out, we'll put a new earth strap on, and we'll also have a look at the thermostat. If that thermostat's not been replaced, then I'm replacing it. and thankfully the cam belt has been done, as you can see. Sticker's been ripped off. It's not in the documentation as to when that was done, so I don't know when it was done, but it's been done. What do we got here? Oh, that's been broken, so we'll have to strap that up. They're annoying, those, when they get broken. It looks quite black as well, so I think we'll give that a bleed. We'll have a proper look at that fluid. That doesn't, you can't even see the fluid, it just looks black. Look at the colour of it. It might be dirt. It might well be dirt, but I'll check that, and we'll bleed it and run new fluid through there. So that's it. That's all that's wrong with it. So it's not much, is it? It's a good car. I mean, you could wash it, put a new door handle on, and sell it as it is, couldn't you? Really? But you know what I'm like. I do as much as I can. So that's it for now. Not a really long walk around, but I thought what I'd do is I'm going to try and get the entire thing in one video, if I can, and then we can put the entire video out. So walk around day one, which will be obviously go over more than one day. But only in one video, if I can. I also don't want the video getting too long, and the way to stop it getting too long is for me to stop waffling. So I'll stop waffling now, and I will see you when I make a start. Look what I found. So in my box down there of door handles, I've got a passenger side one there, but I've got a driver's door side one there as well. Now the only problem is, of course, without the key, you have to break that bit of plastic, which I think might already be broken. No, that little tab there has to be broken to get the clip out, because you can't do it. So when you see door handles for sale on eBay, don't buy ones that have got the lock in, because you can get around it. What I do is you have to break that little bit of plastic, which looks a little bit broken already. Get the little ring out, and then what you can do is when you put the ring back in, you can then put a little piece of silicone over the top, the silicone that you use on water pumps and that, and it's just enough to stop that ring coming out, and then you can put your new lock in. So you can get the old lock out by getting something in there, even if it's another key that doesn't fit. But yeah, it's to stop the other lock from falling out. You need that ring needs to be in there, and obviously it needs to not drop out. So that's how I do it. That's good. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Get this door handle done. So I'm going to do it now. Right, we have a new door handle. So yeah, put a little bit of silicone on that. Not silicone. The old sealant on the where the pin goes in. That won't come out now. It's all put back together. I just tested it to make sure that was already peeled back, so someone's already been in there. Whether they tried to do it and couldn't get it off, maybe. Some people do try and can't do it, but it could be on. Maybe it's on its second one. Maybe that was the second one that's gone in the past. We'll get some tape on this, because that was just all hanging down like this. So we get it all taped up, and then we get the door card back on, and that's the first job done. And of course now we can actually get the car unlocked from the outside, which is always a bonus. Right, next job after the door handle is I'm going to clean the seats. Since it's sunny today and it's going to be sunny tomorrow, I thought we might as well get them done. We'll use the drill lightly on it. That one is a little bit more soiled than this. We'll get the rear bench out as we always do. Carpets aren't dirty. It's been looked after, this car. They're not that bad, but we'll get them cleaned and then they can dry off over the next couple of days. Right, that's the seats all done. Whew, it's warm today. Warm, must be the warmest day of the year today so far. Mind you, it's only the end of April. A lot of dog hairs down there, which I'm going to come and hoover up. See all those dog hairs? Going to come and hoover all those up in a minute. Carpets just need a hoover, don't need a wash. I've done the back seats as well, and the seat base is sitting in the conservatory. Not in the conservatory, it's summer now, well, spring, so it's actually sitting in the garden drying. Obviously it will get cold tonight, so we'll bring it in. Considering those seats weren't dirty, it never ceases to amaze me just how much filth comes out. I mean, that's not carpets, all that is the seats. That's incredible, isn't it? Look at it. For seats that didn't even look dirty. Amazing. Right, I'm just going to hoover all that hair up. And then I think because we've got no signal on the aerial, the last thing I'm going to do today, because I need to sit down and have a beer, is put a new aerial on. It doesn't look like the original. I'm hoping that, see that, I think that is, yeah, that's not going to come off, that's going to snap. Which is a real shame that you can't get those off, because you're wasting a good, I'll stick some WD-40 on it, but you're basically wasting a good aerial just because you can't unscrew it, which is a real shame. So it probably is the original aerial, so we'll put a nice new one on, and at least that way we'll have a radio signal. We do need to have a radio signal, even though an Apple CarPlay system's going in, and I'm sure these youngsters, not that they're all youngsters that buy these cars, but generally they are, and I'm sure youngsters don't even listen to the radio. Bit old school for them, isn't it? It's just all about the Spotify and stuff on their phones. But it's got to have an FM signal. It's no good not. I think what we'll do this evening is I'll get a tyre appointment booked for next week. I'll just go around them again and look at those tyres. There's definitely one of those tyres that I pointed out which has got cracking around the edge. Although it's a good tyre, it's cracking, and I know that will definitely come up as an advisory. So we'll get that tyre appointment organised, and then what we'll do is we'll get an MOT booked for it. Yeah, the rubber is fine, but I bet when I take that apart, I bet I see something that's not fine. Now that's not an original, I don't think, because it hasn't got Mopar on it. So that is a replacement. Obviously we're going to put a replacement on it as well. Right, let's just grab one. Luckily I've got loads of masts. I bought 10 of them recently, so I've got a good little store of them. So I have to do these things so bloody often that I thought I might as well just buy a load of them. Right, let's go and grab one. So we didn't actually have a brand new one. I put a brand new mast on, but that is a Mopar one, so that's an original. And I don't know where that's come from. That was in my box of all my aerials. The only two aerials I've got, brand new ones, are the old style connector. So I haven't got any, so I'll have to order a couple of those. So I'll put it on for now. And we've got a better signal, but it's still not displaying a radio name. And when you search for the stations, it's still not finding them. So of course it's not right, is it? So we'll get a couple of those ordered, and then I can put one on. So we've got a new tyre. We put it on here. As you can see, nice new tyre. Unfortunately, we had a tyre here that needed doing, which was the one with all the cracking. I thought the other one was probably worse than this, so I replaced that one, but this one needs doing as well. So I paid 50 quid for the other tyre. On e-tyres, and I said to the bloke, have you got another one? Because I could do with another one. And he went and had a look. He came back and he said, yeah, £60. I said, well, that's £10 more than I paid last time, and he online, and he didn't say anything. So I said, you know what, I'll order it online and I'll come back. So I've done that. It actually cost me an extra 2 quid for some reason. It must have gone up by 2 quid. So so I'm going Thursday morning. So I booked the appointment for Thursday morning, but I'm going to go down there tomorrow afternoon, because they probably would have had their delivery tomorrow. So although I've got an appointment for the following day, I've got MOT the following day as well. So I just want to make sure it gets done. So I'll pop down there tomorrow, and fingers crossed it's already done, and we'll have two. So what I'll do tomorrow morning before we go is I'll move that one to the front, I'll put that one on the back, and then we'll have two new tyres on the front, which will be better, won't it? I should have done that in the first place. It's £100 I've had to spend, but there you go. Morning, welcome back. A few days has passed, the weekend has gone, and a couple of days of work, and now we're going to crack on and get this done. Right, so new aerials arrived this morning, which was quite fortuitous. As you know, I've got my new tyre. I've got another one booked, which I'm supposed to be getting tomorrow when this goes for MOT, but I'm going to go down there this afternoon because I reckon they would have had their delivery today. So I want to crack on and try and get everything else done on it. I've decided I'm not going to service it. It was only serviced 9 months ago, 8-9 months ago. So it is a little bit low on oil. The oil looks new, so I'm just going to top the oil up. First thing I'm going to do is get it up on ramps. We're going to take the back wheels off, clean all that up around there. I'm going to spray the underseal stuff on around the suspension at the back. As I say, up in the air, up on ramps. We'll get all that wire brushed and protected as well. We do that on every car. I do need to get the battery and battery tray out because I do need to have a look at the thermostat and put an extra earth strap on. All of that sort of stuff. Stereo in, aerial change, clean, polish, MOT tomorrow, and then it should be done. Let's crack on. Right, it's not actually too bad under here, considering it's a, what is this, a 2014, isn't it? A little bit crusty, but not too bad. Seen much worse. I say that every time, don't I? I've seen much worse. But yeah, no, I have. Yeah, it's not too bad. So we'll get these protected, and yeah, and then we'll crack on and get it. Get it all wire brushed and then get it sprayed up. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Right, there you go. That is all done. Didn't take long. That's all nicely protected. Lovely. It takes a while to dry this, so it'll probably still be wet when it goes for the MOT tomorrow. But I need to get some more of this. For those of you who don't know what I use this. It's really cheap. I buy 2 cans at a time. It's good stuff. This is my last can, actually. I need to buy some more. I'll get through quite a lot of this, so obviously I do every car with it. It's great stuff. Right, so, okay. So we've everything's all protected underneath. I've swapped that wheel and that wheel. So when I go and get the tyre done, we'll have a matching pair on the front. I could get them to do it there, but obviously it's quicker just for me to do it, quicker and easier. So yeah, so we'll have 2 new tyres on the front. Now, I'm going to have to put my windshield on my microphone. I think it's a bit windy today. What I did notice when I went to get that tyre the other day was this, I think that's catching. The striker plate is catching. I think it needs to move up a little bit. Now it could be the door, but the door appears to close perfectly well and lines up perfectly well. So I think it's the striker plate. So it probably was from the accident. I think there was some damage to that door, which has obviously been repaired. And the gap does look a bit big there, doesn't it? So it's obviously been adjusted and it just needs a little bit more adjusting. So I don't think we need to bend the door up on its hinges. I think we just need to adjust the striker plate. So we'll give that a go and see if that does it, because sometimes when you shut the door it doesn't shut properly, which is very annoying. So I think I've got the right thing here. Just got to loosen them off a little bit. Yeah, just loosen them off a touch and then we'll move it up a smidgen. Just hold it while I loosen the bolts so it doesn't drop, and then just move it up just a smidge. See if that does it. Tighten them back up. Give that a go. See if that's any better. Oh, it's worse. I think I must have gone the wrong way. Oh yeah, I can say actually, yeah, I should have looked properly. It's actually was actually too high. Something banging around in this door. I'm not sure if there's something loose in that door. I know I changed the handle, but I'm wondering whether there's actually something loose in there. I might have to take that door card off again and have a look. It might be one of the bolts. You know, you've got the bolts that hold the window mechanism. It might be one of those. They have a habit of coming loose. Right, I've dropped that down a little bit. Tighten that back up. This is just trial and error. That's all it is. But I suppose I should have looked. I thought it was the. I thought it was too low, but it's actually too high. That's better. That's better. Shuts perfect now. That's it. Done. Right. So, as we know, we're not going to service this. We're just going to top the oil up because the oil is very clean anyway, but it is a bit low. As I say, it wasn't serviced, so I've got 800 ml here, so I won't put it all in. I'll put most of it in and then we'll measure. Let's try that. Give it a second to settle at the bottom and then we'll try it. Right. Oh no, still a bit low. I think we might need a bit more than this actually. So it's supposed to be a litre from the empty mark or from the bottom point to the top point. That is supposed to be a litre. That was 800 ml, but it was only like halfway up, or just over halfway up, and it was only like about a quarter of the way up before. So I estimated about 3/4 of a litre. So again, we'll give it a second, and then we'll try it. Right, let's give it another go. This should do it, I think. Yep. That's it, right at the top. Lovely. Okay, that's that done. I don't know if it came across on the time lapse, but oh my god, the trouble I had getting that battery tray out. All of these little clips that are on it, there's so much more. Of course, you have to take the ECU out as well. Absolute nightmare getting these things out. But it's out now. So clutch slave cylinder looks like it's quite possibly the original, but it's fine. I'm just going to grease it up. The thermostat, that's leaked before. Now I don't know whether it's leaking now. If you can see down there, let me try and hold it up straight. You can see all the pink around it. So it might not be the original, but it looks like it probably is, because it looks like the original clips. So I am going to change it. I don't want it going the day after I sell it, like happened before. As I say, there is pink there, which there's nothing wet, but it's pink, so it's leaked. It's definitely leaked, or it is leaking very, very slightly. So I'm going to do it. So I am going to not bore you with taking it off, because sometimes that can be a job and a half, just getting the hoses off. So I'm going to do what I can. Yeah, and then we'll put it all back together with a nice fresh one. We'll show you that, and yeah, earth strap as well, of course. But we'll do the thermostat first. So I will be back once that's done. Right, there's the old one. I reckon that is, I think that's probably been leaking, but it's actually in one piece. So it might be a replacement, I suppose. But as you can see, it's as dry as a bone. Absolutely dry as a bone, and this is because this car's been standing around for a week. But when I took the thing off, no water came out at all. Nothing. There's a couple of little drips down there now, but nothing much. And when I took off the other pipe as well, nothing. So that's, I think that's the original. No sealant used. Like the last one I took off, there was no sealant, so I reckon the last one I took off was original as well. So that's going in the bin. I'm going to put a nice shiny new one on with a metal tip, which will probably last longer than the rest of the car. Yeah, right, let's get the new one on. And we will use silicone. It's funny, isn't it? It looks like the OEM ones, they don't use silicone. So I'm just getting out of the wind. They don't use silicone on the OEM ones. It's really strange. I know it comes with a gasket, but the silicone's a bit of a backup, really, isn't it? Certainly wouldn't want to put one on without it. Right, there we go, all done. So we have a new earth strap. Oh, I haven't tightened that one up. Oh, lucky I touched that, because I'd forgotten I hadn't tightened that one up yet. New earth strap. We've greased up the clutch slave cylinder, and then we've sprayed some what do you call it? Oh god, what's it called? That's it, yeah, GT85. We've sprayed some of that on like the pivot, and let some of it drip down, and then we have a new thermostat with a new clip, existing clip up the back, new clip just there. So that's that done. I've just got to now battle to get the battery tray back in. It's not so bad getting it in as it was getting it out, thankfully. Right, so we have got the new aerial on. It's all connected up, and I've tested it. I've just turned the volume down, but if you turn it up a little bit, you can see we've got proper signal. We are displaying the station name now. I can't do it when you've got volume. No, there you go, capital and heart and so on. They were all broken up, and it didn't display the name. That's all good. So what we can do now is just turn that off. Is get the Blue and Me out, and then we can do the stereo, because Blue and Me out, proxy alignment to sort that out, stereo in. That'll be the next job. Right, we are moving on nicely. I went down to the tyre place and I got my other tyre as well. So now I've got 2 new tyres, both on the front, both matching as well. So that's good. So I took the Blue and Me out, as you probably saw, if I included it in the video. I can't remember if I did. And of course now I've got flashing mileage. Got a nice radio signal now, which is good. And of course I tested that by going down to the tyre place. So what do we need to do now? We need to do a proxy alignment to stop the mileage flashing, and then we will install the new stereo, because when we put the stereo in, as I've explained before on other cars, we want to start off with no flashing mileage, because the proxy alignment, the CAN bus box that comes with the new stereo will take care of the flashing mileage, because it's got a different stereo and it's looking for that one still. But you might possibly have problems because you started off with flashing mileage, so a proxy alignment would still be necessary, or sometimes that has caused issues for people. So that's what we're going to do. Proxy alignment first, and then change the stereo. I put a new gear knob on. That's top came with a bit of 3M tape, so I've used some sealant to glue it on. It's a bit wet at the moment, so it moves around a little bit. You have to be careful when you're changing gear, but obviously that will dry up within the next few hours properly. So everything's done under the bonnet. We're new thermostat, earth strap, topped up the oil, topped up and bled the coolant after putting the new thingy in. Put everything back in the rear, so everything's all back in there. The rear seat is all back in. Yeah, so as I say, the next thing to do is the proxy alignment. So let's get on and do that. There you go. As you can see there, the mileage is flashing. So of course that shows convergence telematic node has been removed, and now the proxy alignment's done. And of course that means it's electronically removed the need for the Blue and Me, and we now have not a flashing mileage. So now we can install the stereo. That is the stereo out and the tray. Time to get the new stereo out of the boot. Right, so that's all installed. We've got a fan with this one. Stick a fan on it with a little bit of 3M tape, and there's an extra connection. Some do come with fans, some don't. You don't really need it, but I thought, you know, as it's there, we might as well. Everything's connected except for the main chocolate box. If obviously this is a black one because this is a sport, so it's replacing a black stereo. Obviously most of what you've seen me put in are the cream ones. This is exactly the same. If you want to see a complete install video on this, click on the link above. I did that last week, and if you want to get yourself one of these, and they are very popular at the moment, I suggest watching that, because it's a good full install. You can't really go wrong if you follow my instructions. What I do now as well is this is the bit that we change. So they always the battery. You know, on some old stereos, going back in time when you used to go to Halfords and buy yourself a stereo for your Ford Capri, you often had to change the red and the yellow. This is the same sort of thing, so you always have to change this. I've never had a car that you don't have to change it. So what I do now, I did recently do one. You haven't seen it yet, but I think that came out and it shorted on the cage because I couldn't get the stereo in properly, and I think it shorted on the cage. So I'm now wrapping that up so it can't do that. I'm also wrapping up the microphone so that can't possibly come off as well. Don't want to damage it. I'm also sticking this on there because I keep scratching over just here somewhere. I'm not sure how I'm doing it, but I keep scratching it, so I'm now covering that up so I don't scratch it. So just going to fire it up, make sure it works, and then we'll feed it all back. Oh, does help if we plug it in first, doesn't it? Switch it on. Hope it boots up. Yeah. This looks like a different version of Android on this one. Not seen this one before. Oh, this is different. Have no media file. Oh, it's almost as if this has been switched on before. Oh, that's it. Oh, it's in foreign. So obviously we need to change this. We just want to make sure we got a radio signal. Yeah, well, I say signal. We got. Let's go to radio. I can already hear something. 95.8. Yeah, we got a good signal. That's good. We'll save that on there. Capital. So it's got RDS as well. Nice strong signal. Tells you what's on as well. It's a bit small, but it does tell you what's on. Right, that's good. I don't know why that's in. Yeah. There's obviously something there. Oh, it's the name of the MP3 that is the pretend media file. Never seen that before. It doesn't normally have a foreign or Chinese name. So we need to go in and do a few settings that we need to do. But I'm going to get this all pushed back, and then we'll change those settings. Again, if you want to see those settings change, there's 3 important settings to change, and I also show you in that video how to connect it to Apple CarPlay as well, if you want to know how to do that. Right, so the stereo is in, all pushed back. GPS is on the windscreen there, all the cables are run, that's all back, that's in there. I drill a hole now in there. I've got to get some 18mm grommets to hold the cable. At the moment it's just a hole, but I'm going to get some. I've measured it and it's an 18mm hole that I'm drilling to get. It needs to be that big to get that through. You could do it the other way around, but I suppose you could do, but I'm going to get some 18mm grommets. Dash cam is up there, which is recording. Seems to have picked the time up. No, it hasn't. It's not 4:20. Oh no, that's the 29th of the 4th, isn't it? 23:03. So that obviously needs setting. Obviously, it comes with an app. You can just download the app. Got the door thing swapped over. I've set the time 16:04, as you can see there. That is all that done. Right. Good morning, welcome back. Today is MOT day, and we are going to get the car clean now. Going to give it a pre-wash, then a snow foam, and then a bucket and sponge wash with a hydroscopic Maguire's cleaner, for want of a better word. And then in about an hour and 20 minutes I've got to take it for the MOT. So if I get time, hopefully I'll give it a hoover out and get some mats in there as well. If not, I'll do that when I get back. So fingers crossed we get a nice advisory free MOT and the car can get finished this afternoon and up for sale. Right, we are now going to attempt to top up the gas for the aircon, because the aircon's not very cold. As you can see there, it's showing, well, it's pretty much showing empty. So hopefully there's not going to be an issue with it. Right. So it's settled down at 26.5. It's going down a little bit. It takes a second for the aircon to kick in, doesn't it? So 26.3. It's gradually dropping, but not by very much. So hopefully we can get it down to a decent temperature. We've got the new bottle on. It's going up now. That's better. So we will let it go up until it's in the blue. you go, there's the clutch kicking in. So obviously that needs to push it round, and then hopefully it should continue going up, which it is. Hopefully you can see this. Fan's kicking in, the clutch is kicking in. I shut the windows and the temperature is dropping. Yeah, it's down to 16 now. It was on 26, so it's reduced the temperature by 10 degrees so far. I think we've probably used up that entire can as well. So probably do need to get some more anyway. Excuse this wind. I'm just going around the car seeing if there's anything I've missed. And these are a little bit high. So I think the clip is broken. In fact, I can see it's broken in there. Both sides is the same. So luckily for me, I found these on eBay. Or someone pointed me in the right direction of them on eBay, I should say. So I bought some. And there they are. If you want to know what they are, if you want to get some, I'll put the link in the description and you can pick yourself up some. They're always worth having because invariably these things do get broken. Generally when people take them off, because they take them off like a bull in a china shop, and they just because they push on, all they do is they push on to a thread. They don't screw down. They've got little teeth on them. Still haven't mastered zooming in. I don't know how I zoom into things up close. I can't do it at the moment, but I need to figure that one out with this camera. Yeah, they basically just push onto a thread, and people really treat them roughly, and they ended up, if you have a new windscreen or your windscreen wipers or anything you have to do under there, they just get broken, and then your scuttle panel will never sit properly. So yeah, just need to change those. I've given it a bit of a clean up under here. I've done the clear coat on the headlight. I found a little bit of rusty bit on the bonnet. It's not quite the right colour, but I haven't got this colour. I wasn't going to buy a can of paint just for that, so I've just touched that up. It's I think it must have been the colour from the 500X I used to have, which was blue magnetica, which is slightly different from this. It's very, very similar, but slightly different. So I've just touched that in. I hadn't even noticed it before, so hopefully when the bonnet's closed, no one will. I just noticed it when the bonnet was up, and there was a couple of little bits there as well. So I say it isn't the right colour, but it's close enough just to touch in those little bits. I'm not done one in. No, I have done one in this colour before. So I probably have got a can of paint. I'll have a look actually, because I did do one in this colour, which was also a sport. Don't know whether I did any paintwork on it. Possibly not. If you remember, it was the one that had all the paint thrown on over the inside, the white emulsion. It was that one. What did I call it? Project Van Gogh. If you want to go and take a look, I'll link to it in the description. Again, I do like to link to videos but that I talk about. So yeah, at the end of the video, I'll link to Project Van Gogh. It was a beautiful car. Well, it ended up being a beautiful car, but yeah, obviously it had a smashed window and a load of paint thrown inside, all over the dash, all over the seats, all over the steering wheel, everywhere. But it ended up coming out beautifully. Yeah, anyway, enough of Project Van Gogh. We are on Project MILF. So, just going to do those, and then I think just a bit of a wipe over on the inside, black the tyres up, and that's it. There you go, all finished, all done. Everything's blacked up here. We've got those new things either side holding that properly in position. We've got the clear coat on the renewed headlight, which now it looks like the other headlight. The wheels clean, the tyres are blacked up. We've got new tyres on the front, not a mark on it. New door handle. More. Oh look, it's one of my former projects. Yeah, all done, absolutely spotless. Seats are clean, new mats, stereo, dash cam up there, seats are cleaned, trailing USB lead there, the engine compartment's all clean, the aircon is cold, and that is it. Absolutely finished. So that is it on Project MILF. Really beautiful car that's only taken one video to get it done up to scratch. So, you know, there wasn't much wrong with it, was there? But I've given it the Love 500 treatment, and everything that needed doing has been done. So off it goes. I've got face tracking on, so off it goes to its new home soon. I haven't got a buyer in mind for it, although I have got lots and lots of people in my list that have messaged me over the last few months. I suppose some of them have probably already bought a car, but I'll probably stick it on the mum's group tonight, but I might send a few messages. I'm going to sell it for $3,250, so I stand to make about £1,000 profit, less tax of course. The good old tax man, thank you for that. But that's it, the end of Project MILF. Hope you've enjoyed this. A really beautiful 500 Sport with only 66,000 miles on it. I love this colour, absolutely love this colour. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next project, as always, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.